Hello and very good afternoon. हेलो एंड वेरी गुड आफ्टरनून टू एवरीवन। आज का ये प्रोग्राम हम थोड़ा सा 5 मिनट लेट से स्टार्ट करेंगे। जो रिसोर्स पर्सन मैडम है वो अभी अपने जहाँ से उनको देना है लेक्चर, तो वहाँ पहुँच नहीं पाएंगे, कोई मीटिंग अटेंड कर रहे हैं। तो 5 to 10 मिनट्स के अंदर हम स्टार्ट कर देंगे। मैडम ज्वाइन कर रही है ना? हाँ हाँ। महाविद्यालय के प्राचार्य डॉक्टर आलोक मिश्रा सर की अनुमति से 7 दिवसीय फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम थीम ऑन रिसेंट ट्रेंड्स इन न्यूट्रिशन, मेंटल हेल्थ एंड स्पोर्ट्स के 5वें दिन के इस कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत करते हैं। Nutrition is the only remedy that can bring full recovery and can be used with any treatment. Remember, food is our best medicine. Before we before we begin, let me acquaint you with what is going to happen next day shortly on 17th October 2023. Dr. Uttara Singh, Assistant Professor, Government Home Science College, Chandigarh, topic Importance of Nutrition, Fitness, Yoga and Sports in Health. Just a little before we get started, I request all the participants kindly mute your mic and camera, and if you have any question during presentation, feel free to write in chat box. Your active participation is important throughout the session. We will also have time for question at the end. A very good afternoon to everyone. It's a wonderful day and I feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to all presented here. On the behalf of Government Kamla Devi Rathi, PG Mahavidyalaya, Rajnandgaon, Chhattisgarh, I, Mrs. Mamta R. Dev, convener of this 7 days faculty development program and head department of home science in association with IQAC. Your body makes these new cells from the food you eat. What you eat literally becomes you. You have a choice in what you are made of. You are what you eat. Your diet is a bank account. Good food choices are good investment. With great honor and pleasure, I would like to welcome the resource person of today's faculty development program. We have with us Dr. Rachna Srivastava, nutritionist and scientist, postgraduate Institute of Medical Education and Research, Chandigarh. She will be speaking on recent trends in nutrition, research and International Year of Millets 2023. Without taking much time, I would like to invite Mrs. Nandini Chandravanshi to tell about the achievement of Madam. Mrs. Nandini Chandravanshi, Madam, please.
A very good afternoon to all of you. Myself Nandini Chandravanshi, Chemistry Department from Kamala College. Today is the fifth day of 1 week faculty development program on recent trends in nutrition, mental health, and sports, organized by Home Science and IQAC. It gives me an immense pleasure to introduce today's speaker person, Dr. Rachna Shrivastava, Madam, nutritionist, scientist from Postgraduate Institute of Medical Education and Research, Chandigarh. And the topic is Recent Trend in Nutrition Research and International Year of Millets 2023. Dr. Rachna Shrivastava, Madam, has completed her graduation, master and PhD degree from Punjab Agriculture University, Ludhiana, and achieving a fourth rank in All India ICAR JRF exam and received WOSB fellowship for the development of smartphone application to educate mother of under 5-year age children on nutrition. Apart from teaching, Madam served as academic coordinator, Board of Studies member for BSc Nutrition and Dietetics at Chandigarh University. She is the life member of Indian Dietetic Association also. She is delivering various lectures on national and international conference as a resource person. She has 12 books are published on child nutrition, and Madam is also writing a book chapter on Eat Right India initiative for street vendors to reduce the disease and preserve urban culture. At last, I would like to again welcome Mrs. Rachna Shrivastava, Madam, to continue the session. Thank you.
Rachna, Madam, please.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Dr. Nandini. I hope my screen is visible now. Thank you so much, Dr. Nandini, for this elaborate introduction. And I show my gratitude to Mamta ma'am and Dr. Alok for inviting me over to this faculty development program. Actually, whatever sessions we take, they are channels to connect with people. And since it's been like almost 7 to 8 years, we are working in the field of public health. I'm working in the field of public health. There is a lot of information I have gathered and a lot I have learned and still learning. And I would like to share all that with you all. So, as ma'am said, my topic is recent trends in nutrition research. Basically, I have tried to focus what we are working on. There are nutrition is a very, very vast subject, and there are multiple studies which are going on everywhere in the world. So I have focused on what we are working in PGI in the field of nutrition. And after that, we'll be discussing a bit brief about how we are actually celebrating the International Year of Millet. So, initiating with my presentation. So basically, whenever we plan that this is the research we want to conduct, this is the thing we want to do, what we look for? We look for the baseline information or data which gives an idea what is the health status and nutritional status of a particular population. So as we all know, the whole country is talking about, and there is so much hue and cry about global hunger index reports which are out now. And we have been not very good in performance. We rank 111 as far as global hunger index is concerned, and we are far behind our fellow nations who don't have such kind of resources and capacities as we have. So before we begin, just a brief what global hunger index is. Global hunger index is a score which is calculated based on a formula, and it mainly has 4 indicators: undernourishment, childhood stunting, wasting, and child mortality. Why we have chosen these 4 indicators only? First, it measures inadequate food access. It covers all the international targets and sustainable development goals. It also give a picture about the dietary quality and utilization, whether our children are utilizing the same or not. It also give a brief about what are the various nutritional deficiencies we are facing. Other than that, it also actually gives an idea whether the implementation of all our program is going in a successful direction or not. So the composition is like undernourishment scores for 1/3, childhood stunting 1/6, childhood wasting 1/6, childhood mortality 1/3, and that is how we form global hunger index of any country. So this data gives us a picture how we should move forward if we want to do research in our area. Like, as we know, the various determinants of hunger are socioeconomic disparities, hidden hunger, inefficient agriculture practices, gender inequality, climate change, and lack of audit of nutritional program. So now when you are planning for any nutrition research for your masters or PhD people, or if you are applying for some kind of funding, these are the areas you can actually focus on. They are social audit and awareness. There are multiple programs learning. We have midday meal, we have Poshan Abhiyan, we have ICDS schemes. You can plan and take social audits, and that is how we'll be able to analyze the gaps and address them, which will in turn reduce the childhood indicators of malnutrition as well as mortality. Then PDS enhancement, we can work on that. Then we can work on reducing food wastage, reducing hunger, and we can also promote mobile nutrition clinics. As we all know that nutrition counseling is still very underrated. Still people feel they need to visit a counselor when only they are diseased. So just to keep up with a health, with a good health, is actually very underrated, and therefore we can actually plan projects in which we can construct mobile nutritional clinics which will go door to door or to these underprivileged people who are malnourished and do the nutrition counseling. So next data is coming from Global Nutrition Report from 2022, which also shows that childhood stunting is on course. We are still trying to achieve the reduction. Anemia, there is no progress, and in some state and districts we are worsening. Then there is low birth weight, for that we don't have a data. Childhood overweight, we are trying to address it. Exclusive breastfeeding, wasting, sodium intake, blood pressure, obesity, diabetes. For these, we actually are failing to achieve our targets by 2025. Then dietary intake, if we look into the data, like dietary intake data which we are collecting from field, you can actually see that as far as fruit intake is concerned, legume intake is concerned, nuts are concerned, we are actually far lagging behind with the adequate amount of these food groups we should include in our diet. So we may plan projects and we may plan studies in which we actually focus on their benefits and do awareness, community awareness activities, so that we can increase the intake of these food groups. Then childhood obesity is also one of the most important concerns we have right now. If we look into a global data, we can see that by 2020 we have approximately 40 million of childhood obesity percentage, and of which the 40% is from LMIC countries like ours. If we look into the Indian obesity data, we can see that 27 million obese kids we could have by 2030 if we are not addressing, and if it is increasing on the scale on which it is rising right now. So, like I said, whenever we are planning studies, whenever we are looking into the projects, and when we are looking for the studies we could do with our masters and PhD students. So what I have realized with my experience, we just think of a age group and we think of a population and we try to move forward in that direction. But before that, the review of literature part which we do, in that we should always assess whether the kind of intervention we are going to do or we are proposing to do is has been like actually giving any proper outcomes or correct outcomes or not. For example, you can see this was a systematic review in which various intervention studies for childhood obesities were assessed. And here you can see there was this first study where lesson on nutrition was given, lesson on physical activity, media usage were given to the students. And what was the result? There was no difference in children's BMI between the groups. So we can understand from here, if we do a proper kind of review of literature, we can actually understand basically what is not working in our target group. And here we can also assess what are the things which are working. See, small portion size in the canteen, healthier option, restricting access to vending machines. These are the things which are actually working if we want to address the childhood obesity. Likewise, there are multiple studies. If we look into our own data, National Family Health Survey 5 results are there. From it was conducted from 2019 to 21, and here I would like to focus on the data of Chhattisgarh itself. And you can see, as far as the stunting and anemia is concerned, we have certain high burden districts. Although all the 27 districts of Chhattisgarh are ones which need public health concern, but then top 5 which are not performing up to the mark, where the situation is actually burdening. So we can plan our studies, we can plan our interventions, we can plan our things according to these areas, like what we want to make work in these districts. Likewise, we have data from for underweight children and underweight women, then anemia in pregnant and non-pregnant women. Then there are trends in overweight and obesities and NCDs, and these data are specifically for Chhattisgarh. So here you can also see this table actually shows which are the best performing districts which have been successful in reducing their rate of anemia, overweight, hypertension, etc. So here you can see that actually Rajnand and Bijapur, Uttar BK, Jancham are the districts who have been performing good as compared to Korba, Kabirdham, Korea, Rajnand, Uttar BK, etc. So, what is there to learn? We need to learn if in a same state, same kind of all the interventions present, same kind of nutrition programs are there, but there are few districts who are performing really well, and whereas some are falling down. So we can learn what is working in those certain districts, and we can replicate those models in the worst performing districts. So this could also be an area of research as far as nutritional status of these population is concerned. Whenever we are talking about malnutrition, we all know there are multiple determinants which are responsible. It is not just one thing or two things, not just the diet, not just the dietary diversity, not just the water and sanitation facilities available. There are multiple things which are responsible whenever we are talking about the nutritional status of the people. So here we can see what are the different determinants where we are actually lacking. So we can work in those directions. For example, underweight women, we have concern. Uh, Consumption of, like we all know, there is program for iron folic acid supplementation, but what we can see, only 26% of women are actually taking it. That is a concern. Early initiation of breastfeeding is a challenge. Timely introduction of complementary food, which is a major contributor to childhood stunting, is one of the major culprit. Then IYCF practices, that we call infant and young child feeding practices, only 9% of kids are having minimum adequate diet. Then dietary diversity is also less, meal frequency is also less, inclusion of egg or flesh food is less. They are good source of protein, but they're lacking in so many diets. Then sweet beverage consumption, bottle feeding. These are the different challenges. When we are planning our studies, we can focus on these areas. Now coming to what is actually what we are working here on in PGI. So first is sustainable nutrition. I'll just try to be very brief, just an idea what these topics are and what are the prospects which we can work on. So sustainable nutrition is defined as the ability of food system to provide sufficient energy and essential nutrients to maintain good health of the population. And here also what we focus on sustainability, like the food choices we are making, actually they should not harm our environment. So the six guiding principles of sustainable nutrition are: first, they should be protective and respectful of biodiversity and ecosystem. We all know when we were kids, there were certain vegetables or fruits which were so often seen in the market, and today when we go, the our fruit vendors, they just have banana or apple or guava, very common, which is selling universally in every district. So the local food, local fruits, local vegetables which we used to consume are actually out of our plate. So we must be respectful. We must search for them, and we must encourage by buying them because they add a lot of micronutrients to our diet. Secondly, the diet should be culturally acceptable. It should be accessible, economically fair, and affordable when we are talking about nutrition. Then it should be safe and healthy, nutritionally adequate, and it must optimize natural and human resources. So, very briefly, when we are talking about sustainability, obviously climate change, climate impact, climate cost of diet is also of very much importance. And here we can see the emissions we are contributing, the kind of carbon footprint we are creating just by very innocently choosing a food is not that innocent. If we are talking about a vegan person, the kind of carbon dioxide that person is contributing is 1.5 as compared to a meat lover, which is 3.3. So whenever we are choosing non-vegetarian diets, whenever we are choosing meat, especially meat of large animals, actually it is creating a huge carbon footprint. So the focus is initially what we focused, that the diet should be energy sufficient. Then what we focused on, it should be nutrient wise adequate, like we should get all the essential nutrients, and then we should move forward to healthy diet where the food is coming from different food group, it is diverse, right? And it should create minimum carbon footprint. So, if we want to achieve sustainable nutrition, what we can do, we can plan studies which focus on plant-based diet, food waste reduction, limited consumption of ultra-processed food, local food system usage, environment-friendly food, and a food which can meet to the nutritional needs of diverse population. So, if you are thinking how you can make your plate a sustainable one, so please don't use something which has artificial preservatives, artificial flavors. Please don't use PHVOs, which are partially hydrogenated vegetable oils. Gluten free, it is for choice. Cholesterol free, yes, of course, we must try that. Zero trans fat per serving, whatever food we are consuming. Then it should be made with vegetable oils that contains good fat, and they should be good source of omega-3 fatty acids. These are the different researches which have been going on. Now, the next trending nutrition topic is precision nutrition. Precision, as the name itself says, it is actually a holistic approach to developing comprehensive and dynamic nutritional recommendation relevant to both individual and population. For example, whenever a person who is suffering from diabetes come to you, right, how we plan their diet, we just suggest that their diet should be high in fiber, low in saturated fats, low in carbohydrates, and high in protein. But is this diet working for everyone? That we need to look into, because with the same diet, there are few people who are actually successfully managing their diabetes, whereas there are some who are not, successful in achieving those same targets as far as glycosylated HB or their fasting blood glucose levels are concerned. So basically, precision nutrition is a framework in research and practice that considers actually multiple dimensions, which are dietary habits, genetic background, health status of the person, their gut microbiota strength, their metabolism, their food environment, their physical activity, their socio-demographic profile, their psychosocial characters, and different environmental exposures. So, whenever we are talking about precision nutrition, the data from these diverse fields is actually collected from an individual, and accordingly, their effect on their genetic um, genes is studied, and then only we plan nutritional advice for them on a very personalized basis, precision wise. So these are the various studies going on. As far as research opportunities in precision nutrition are concerned, it is actually an amazing time to work on this topic, because we still don't know how different foods, how different food bioactive, how different dietary pattern is actually modulating the kind of genetic pattern we are having. There have been studies which are giving good result that obesity, cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, cancer, cognitive decline, Alzheimer's, they are actually people are actually managing them well if given precision nutrition and precise advice to manage them. Next trending topic is food system. Food system, we all understand, actually food system are the people, places, and activities that bring us food, that all in total create a holistic food system. So what are the different drivers from which our food system is made? Environmental and biophysical factors, cultural factors, infrastructure of transport, research and development, demographic factors, and political and economic factors. These all factors actually combine to make our holistic food system. So, how one thing is very sure, the kind of food system we are maintaining right now is not sufficient, and it needs to be changed, because the kind of nutritional status, and we have triple burden of malnutrition we are facing right now. So we have undernutrition, we have overnutrition, and along with these two we have micronutrient deficiencies. So that means the kind of food system we are maintaining right now is not sufficient in achieving good health in future. So how we can transform our food system? By changing the availability, accessibility, affordability, and desirability of food. How we can do it? We can rebalance our agriculture sector, research and development, and promote production of a wide range of nutrient-rich food. In other angle, we can co-opt for trades, we can cut on food loss and wastage. We should create jobs beyond agriculture, like the time when people are not working on field, there should be extra source of incomes for them so that they will not leave agriculture. Support technology and financial innovations along food value chains. Other than that, we also need to empower our consumer to make more informed food choices, and to help them, to support them in increasing demand for sustainable and healthy diet. And how we can do it? By actually increasing their knowledge and implications of dietary choices, by regulate our advertising and marketing, by implementing behavioral nudges. uh, Other than that, we need to implement social safety net program, because there are people who cannot work, there are old age people, there are children less than 5 years, there are pregnant and lactating women, and we need to consider their nutritional status is also one of the priorities we have today. So social safety net program should work. We should promote pro poor growth. We should reduce the cost through technology and innovation, and adjust taxes and subsidies on healthy foods. So these are the different ways we can actually improve our food system. Next trending topic is gut microbiome. We all it's been like few years we have focusing a lot. There have been a lot of focus we are giving to gut microbiota. So basically, it is an important regulator of body weight, glucose, lipid metabolism, inflammatory process, and they may thereby play a role in etiology of various non-communicable diseases we are facing today. So, our gut microbiota is actually some from our genetic, like heredity we are having from our parents. Then, demography is one of the contributing factors. The environmental factors, the kind of pesticides, fertilizers, and different additives we are adding in food, how we are exposed to them, including the mode of delivery at birth, age, gender, how our GIT transit time is working, what kind of medications we are using. So these all actually cumulatively decide the kind of population of microbiota we are going to have in our gut. And here you can see when we are talking about dietary intake, here is fiber and protein. And if a person is consuming both of them, they actually have power to increase insulin sensitivity that we have an issue if we are talking about diabetes. Fatty acid oxidation, they can reduce inflammation, they can increase the lipid storage capacity, they can increase satiety, they can increase insulin secretion, beta cell functioning, etc. So actually microbiota can help us in different ways. If we are talking about different foods and their responses, like what kind of response they are creating in our body, how our microbiota is handling them. So, if the diet is high in fat, actually it will increase inflammation in our body. If the diet is rich in red meat, it will the person if there is continuous intake of red meat, the person is more prone to atherosclerosis and thrombosis. As far as high fiber diet is concerned, it can actually lead to anti-inflammation and anti-anxiety. So the kind of food we choose, the kind of diet we choose can actually affect our microbiota, and our microbiota can affect our health status accordingly. These are the recent studies in the field of gut microbiota. Whenever we are talking about nutrition related problems, our foremost focus is different nutrition interventions. So, when we are talking about malnutrition specifically, our interventions can be of two types, nutrition specific and nutrition sensitive. When we are talking about nutrition sensitive interventions, so these are the interventions, they are not nutrition. They are typically not changing the kind of pattern of nutrition one is taking, but they have the capacity to improve food and nutrition security of the beneficiaries. Whereas nutrition specific interventions, they are immediately connected with the malnutrition, and they are the direct determinants of their nutrition and they can affect them also. So this is just a simple framework. So what are the different nutrition specific programs and nutrition sensitive programs we can have? If we are talking about nutrition sensitive programs, agriculture, food security, social safety net, early child development, maternal mental health, women empowerment, child protection, classroom education, water sanitation, health and family planning services. These are nutrition sensitive programs we have. And as far as specific interventions are concerned, we have adolescent health, dietary supplementation, micronutrient supplementation, breastfeeding and complementary feeding, diet education, feeding behavior, severe acutely malnourished management, and disease prevention and management. So these are the different studies of nutrition specific and nutrition sensitive interventions which are going on. And now coming to International Year of Millets 2023. We all know that in 2018, India proposed to UN that the year 2023 should be celebrated as International Year of Millets, and we got support from 72 countries worldwide that yes, this is the way to go. And today we'll discuss why we have actually chosen millets and this year to be a millet year, and why there is so much focus in research and development as well on millets. So we all know they are rich in micronutrients, they are high in protein, high in fibers, they have low glycemic index, and they are very good source of multiple micronutrients, which are minerals as well as vitamins. As far as production is concerned, India is topping the charts with 41% global millet production. But if we see the state-wise millet production and yield, we could see that yes, we have a lot of dedicated area for millet production, which has been reducing over the years. But as far as the yield is concerned, that is also very less in certain states, of which Chhattisgarh is also one of the parts. We can see that there is a huge possibility. So how we can work on increasing the yield of millets in Chhattisgarh. So, if we look into the consumption data, we could see that rural and urban both intakes were quite okay in 2004 and 5, which have been drastically reduced in 11 and 12. And now, why we are giving so much focus to millets. So, we have evidence how millets have been proven in tackling many of our nutritional disorders, of which one is anemia. There were 19 studies for which this systematic review was done. And what was found that actually millet-based meal significantly increased the bioavailable iron, with the percentage of bioavailability being 7.5% more as compared to the traditional diets. When we are talking about growth and like amino acid profile of millets, there were 8 randomized control trial, and what was found that finger millet have a threefold concentration of calcium than milk, and calcium retention is higher for finger millet than for any other staple. So if we are talking about kids, if we are talking about improving the nutritional status of children in communities, that is also one of the fields we can work on. Whatever diets we are making from whether it is take home ration or the hot cooked meal we are serving, we can include millets in them. As far as diabetes is concerned, finger millet based diet showed lower glycemic response due to high fiber content and alpha amylase inhibition properties. So these studies actually are also have shown that millets have low glycemic index and thus can be very beneficial for diabetic population. Hypertension, finger millet contains high level of calcium and polyphenols, which actually help in maintaining the blood pressure of hypertensive subjects. As far as coronary heart disease is concerned, the high fiber present in millets plays a major role in cholesterol lowering and eliminating LDL from the system and increasing the effects of high density lipoproteins. Obesity also, consumption of millets for 21 days to 4 months actually reduce the levels of triglycerides, LDL, and VLDL cholesterol, and it also reduced the total cholesterol. So, this is how it also helps in reducing obesity. It also has very good satiety value, which can aid in obesity management. There have been studies where millets, as they are rich in phenolic acids, tannins, phytates, they are actually helpful in reducing colon and breast cancers in animals. Although human trials are yet to be planned. As far as bone health is concerned, retention of calcium from finger millet based diet help bone aggression during child growth if finger millet based diet is consumed. So if they are so good, what are the constraints we are facing? Why we have such huge, health disease burdens? Because there are certain constraints in millet consumption. One is it has low aspirational values. It is considered as disease diet. There is limited knowledge available on recipes and cooking. The quality of millet available It is also like challenging. The shelf life is less. Then people lack awareness how to cook it. Some people say the cost is high as compared to wheat and rice, and that actually hinders their daily usage. Then availability is less. People don't like the taste. They are facing a huge competition from rice and wheat, which again have like good minimum support prices. Then lack of government support. So, what can be done if we want to achieve, millets for everyone? If we want to promote millets for everyone, and if we want to use millet to improve our health and nutritional status, first we need adequate public support. We all need to make a point like whenever you are buying your grocery, you must include a packet of millet, and likewise, you must include it in your daily diet and increase its consumption because it contains so many health benefits. We need to increase awareness in education, availability and accessibility, affordability, changing perception, processing of value added foods, and collaboration between different stakeholders. So, just to uh, there onwards, from here onwards, we'll discuss how we have promoted millets in Chandigarh. So, our first approach was campaign. In the year 2022, we launched Chandigarh Millet Mission with the Department of Women and Child Development, Chandigarh, Social Welfare Department, in which we actually planned how we are going to take millets to grassroots level so that every beneficiary who is coming into community could get to know about its benefits and then start using them in their daily diets. We have also included millets in take home ration. We have also included millets in hot cooked meal, which is being served to ICDS beneficiaries, and even pregnant and lactating mothers. They are receiving this millet laddu from the WCD department. So we have done campaigns in Anganwadis. Then we conducted millet symposium, national consultation just to increase its seepage in different areas. Eat Right Millet Melas, that was an initiative from FSSAI where we have partnered with them in Haryana, Chandigarh, and Punjab. Millet awareness at old age home. We actually went to this old age home and we tried to convince them. We actually prepared a millet meal and asked them to have it so that they could be included in their daily menu. Then informal education sessions, we conducted webinars, CMEs, millet e-goshtis were run for Anganwadi workers and other students, etc. In these e-goshtis, we actually invited the experts who are working on millets, who have included millets in their own diets, and we asked them to talk to our beneficiaries so that they could gain more insight as far as millet consumption is concerned. Then we have made this interesting millet snakes and ladders game because when you play you learn more and you remember more. So we have planned many millet games so that people may come and play and gain more insight and more information about the benefits of millets. Then we have conducted online events like healthy recipe competition, etc. We Because there was so much questions regarding how to prepare these millet recipes. So just this on 1st of September, on the launch of Sixth Portion Ma, we launched this book also on millet recipes. In school-based interventions, we have planned, we have conducted this youth parliament in which we included these students. They took different ministries and how each ministry can help and support in making, suggestions how we can include millets in our diet and how to promote them more. Than millet awareness at colleges, millet awareness at army camp areas, millet awareness through poster competition among students. Then participatory learning, we have used this mechanism. We have actually invited these renowned chefs to different community kitchens and Anganwadis where they have came and prepared those millet recipes in front of people so that they can have a look and they can learn by these live demonstrations. We also have a YouTube channel on the name of Chandigarh Millet Mission where we have different recipes, and interestingly, these recipes are being developed by our Anganwadi workers, and we are making videos of them. Then millet advocacy in Chandigarh, we have different events like Rose Festival and other festivals. So we are just going there and putting up our stalls there just to promote millets in every area. Social marketing, just to gain more focus on millets. In 2021, we created hashtags like millets 2023, and we actually asked people to post various posts with these hashtags, so that millet 2023 is millet year, and more information on millet is going on various social media platforms uh, with these kind of initiatives. In PGI, we have different health posts where our doctors are working. So there also in on different events, like there was World Diabetes Day or any other day, we are promoting millets at those events. Uh, from 2021, we have actually made a point that whatever token of appreciation we are giving to our experts, they are supposed to be millets only. So that people may not say that it is not available, it is not accessible, it is there in your hands. You just need to go and cook them. There are many newspaper activities we are conducting. Uh, we are making many recipes popular just by these popular articles. So hopefully, okay, here I could see one raised hand from Bhavna. Yes, Bhavna, you want to ask something? Thank you so much, everyone. It was lovely having you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was very nice and informative session. Now I would like all the professors and participants, if you all have any query or question, you can ask or write in chat box. It seems we have not. For taking further this program, I would like to Mrs. Nandini Chandranji Madam for the Thanksgiving session.
So I think Bhavna was.
Madam, lecture was so nice and informative on Global Nutrition Report 2022, covering the area anemia, diets taken, childhood obesity, trends in overweight, obesity in Chhattisgarh, sustainable nutrition, nutritional intervention, and in millets, enhancing millets contribution in various countries, constant in millets consumption, rising demand for millets worldwide. That would be a definitely beneficial for us. We are having so much enlightened with this lecture and information, and thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing a knowledge with us. Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I would like to invite convener of the program, Mrs. Mamta Ardew, madam, for conclude the program.
I would like to thank everyone who made this faculty development program possible. Great thanks to each and everyone. We appreciate you being here. Thanks again for joining us today, and we will see you on Wednesday, 18th October 2023 in same time, same platform. Till then, have a wonderful day ahead. प्रिंसिपल सर की अनुमति से आज के इस प्रोग्राम की समाप्ति की घोषणा करते हैं। नमस्कार, प्रणाम, आभार।
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you.